Hello YouTube, this is Rapscallion. I did a poll on my YouTube communities page about what video you might want to see next, and there was an overwhelming response to do a build tutorial for the multi-item sorter version 4.2. The system itself is silent, it's almost hopper speed, and it's really easy to build, and you'll see that as we go through the build tutorial itself. This thing has received quite a bit of attention from the V3 version of the sorter upwards, and you might have seen this on Ilmango's Peaceful series. Cubfan used the older version in Hermitcraft Season 7, and there's been quite a bit of pickup on this system across the Minecraft community. So we'll get to the tutorial here shortly, but first I want to share something about my last video I released a couple days ago on Gangle's Grand Miss. So here we are in the world download of my last video, and for those that may have noticed, or maybe you haven't, if you look down here, there is a button sitting on the floor below. And if we were to go and activate this button, you'll see that it'll open up a set of stairs to underneath the world, where we have our own slave one sitting waiting for us patiently to investigate. And this is a little bit of an Easter egg just enough on its own. But if you happen to go into the slave one and check this one container here, you'll find a little Easter egg book. And if we take a look at this book, you'll see that there were some instructions to message me on Discord to earn a shout out in the next video. So that is exactly where we are right now. And the first person to message me was AD Hey Donuts. So congratulations for finding the Easter egg, and this here is your shout out. Thank you very much for finding this so quickly. This was, less than an hour afterwards that I had posted this video, I believe, that you had found the Easter egg. So well done, congratulations, and please be sure that there is definitely more to come as far as Easter eggs and world downloads are concerned. Okay, so we're back here with the setup ready to go for our tutorial. You'll see that I've already done the chest configuration here below. So once these sorters are built, it'll feed right into these chest stacks. So our A slice, anything we configure in that first slice will end up in these first two columns. Anything we configure in the second slice will fall into the third and fourth. Anything unsorted will fall into the fifth and sixth columns, and the overflow, the seventh and eighth, will handle anything that overflows from any of the preceding chest stacks. If the overflow happens to be full, then your items are just going to get trashed here afterwards, and you can feed it into a cactus or lava or whatever other system you want to trash those items. But you should be checking your overflow often enough or setting up a system to detect if your overflow is full so that you're not trashing things that you might want to keep. You'll see I've also pre-configured the item gate that is required to run the multi-item sorter. This item gate offers a longer spacing between different item types so that the system can pretty much reset itself to be ready for the next series of items that are coming in. I don't need to do a build tutorial on this component, I don't think, because it looks pretty straightforward. And I'll just give you a quick full 360 view of this thing if you want to recreate it in your world, but there will be a world download here as well if you need to take a look at it. In this hopper below the chest, you'll see that we have 19111 of any type of filter items. And then you would want to feed this chest with the items that you want to sort. So if you happen to be building your own chest haul, you might need an input system here that pumps the items up into this chest so that it can be fed into the system. But we'll just enter our items into this chest for now, and we'll get started on the tutorial. Okay, so you'll see this outline here for two different slices of the same system, and these are going to be alternating. So you can actually repeat this for however many slices of the sorter that you want, and then just adding on an unsorted category and an overflow category towards the end. It's typically best to have an even number of slices so that you're always ending on B. because there's some of the signal stabilization that you'll see that occurs at the back that just works better if you're doing two slices each time. The outline that you see here is from the Lightmatica mod, so we're using a saved schematic to help us do this tutorial. I'll have some links in the description below for where to access this mod, and it's super, super handy for any type of survival or creative builds as you're doing any sort of designs. Okay, so let's start with our hoppers. So this is where matched items would end up first. So your first layer is going to have hoppers here. We're going to have some observers pointing into them. So we're going to start like this. Do the same here. You can see that Lightmatica tells me whether the blocks I'm placing have the right orientation to them as well. There, we're all matched. I like to use half slabs as my transparent block. That way, if I need to reach into the build somewhere, I've got a space in between to set a comparator or anything similar. And these back magenta concrete blocks are part of the signal stabilization that help make the system work. So just like that, that is layer 1 complete. Layer 2, we start seeing some of the droppers that are going to work for the tower here. And we'll place these observers in place first. And I'm going to need to pick some droppers because I don't have them in my hotbar. Oh, see there, I put that in the wrong direction. We want these facing outwards. These ones will face up. And we will have hoppers in here. And a few more half slabs here. We also have half slabs just down below here. Oh, the half slabs are already there. That's my fault with Lightmatica. We're going to place some comparators. So these comparators show up orange in Lightmatica because they are not currently powered. This one will be subtract, this one on subtract, and this one on subtract. We're going to place our redstone dust down. And we have a yellow block there for A slice. And we have a light blue block here for the B slice. Okay. Whoops. I'm going all over the place. We have our rails. We can set like that for now. Barrel here. And if I'm correct, we only need a signal strength of 2 here. So we're going to put our swords in. And there, you'll see that that container shows up clear, which means we've got the right value into it. So we won't worry about the orange here yet because we haven't powered this redstone dust. But let's go up a level and start placing some more in. Dust here, comparator there, composter here. I believe this is on fill level 4. Yep, that works. We have another rail on top here. And there you'll see that these comparators now are all configured properly. We have dust here. And we have some more half slabs. Have dust here and here. And these aren't powered yet. It should be okay. This one is unpowered because there's actually still a component that we'll have to put in here afterwards. But that looks good for, oh, no, we've got a little bit more to do here. Pick observer there, and hoppers facing downwards. Perfect, so let's go up to our next level. And don't need to worry about the signs so much because it's not part of its function. It's just a reminder. We will have those. We'll take a barrel for here. believe here, want 10 swords. That looks accurate. I'll actually just take that and replace it full. And we are good. We have some more slabs here. And we have some more slabs here. Okay. We're going to need yellow concrete, light blue concrete. We're going to have observers facing downwards. There. And there. Okay. Missed that. There. I placed another observer somewhere that I shouldn't have probably. Do a quick check to make sure we're clear. And it looks okay down here so far. Everything at the bottom levels looks good. We need more droppers coming up. And we're going to need some here. These need to be on subtract. And we need some dust there. Did I already place these? No. These ones do not need to be on subtract. So we're good. I'm going to ignore this. This block didn't render properly, but there is a yellow block here. I imagine that's an issue because I have possibly Optifine installed as well as Lightmatica. So we're going to place this block here, and you'll see it doesn't give an error, but it didn't clearly show that that yellow block belonged. But that block is there, and we're going to have some dust on top of it as well. I'm going to ignore the sign for now because it's not required. I will note as well that you need to power this comparator coming inwards. So if we put this block here, it is required. You need the barrel with the right signal strength feeding this line. It's not part of the schematic because it's independent of the slices themselves. So this is going to show that it's off because in the schematic it didn't have it powered, I guess. And we are good. Have that placed. And we can go up a level. Okay, we're going to have some more droppers here, 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 and here. You can get a sense of the direction with the resource pack that I have in here, the texture pack. We're going to need some chests. These are our filter chests, so we will place them like so. Good. Then we need some more observers facing downwards. That's good. Observer facing downwards. Have redstone dust on top of these blocks. We will have blue concrete here. Some more dust on these. That's good. There actually is dust here as well. There's something up with my schematic that I'm using. I'll make sure that in the schematic I share in the world download that these errors aren't actually appearing. Because I just know that those dusts go there because I've built this thing so many times. So I'll make sure that in the schematic that you have, it's there. Otherwise, if you're using this video as the tutorial, make sure you're placing the dust on top of these barrels as well. We also need a tripwire hook on the back of this blue block so that the dust doesn't power these blocks once they're placed. So that'll redirect. We need the magenta concrete from here. I have not placed those yet. So we'll place our comparators there and there. And I believe we need this power here. 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. And in these barrels. We need to have 8 swords. Yeah, that's right. We'll place that barrel, we'll place that barrel. We're going to have to put comparators in, and they are on subtract. And we'll need to duplicate that barrel at the end here as well. Okay, we're good so far. Colors are off because these comparators on the inside actually require some items in here to work. We can actually probably put them in now because these hoppers are locked, so we're not going to lose anything as we place items in. So we do want to put in some renamed filters, and it's the same as in the item gate. We're going 19111. We just take that one with the inventory and replace it. Good. There, you'll see these ones are starting to look good. And we're good there. Have I placed these yet? No. The blue block is there. So I think we have everything we need here so far. Looking good. We'll go up another layer. Take our observers. So we're going to observe upwards off this dust and to the side for both. We need block facing downwards. There we are. Need more yellow concrete here and here. And we need blue concrete there. Okay, looking good. Dust coming up. Some dust on this block. That one I think is a pretty easy layer, so that one's done. Go up again. We have more dust above. We have, again, there should be dust on this barrel. I'll make sure it's there for the schematic. We have dust on this barrel as well. And then our observer's coming up. Where did that observer go that wasn't supposed to be placed? Oh, it went up above. Above my little wall here, or my ceiling. Make sure I'm down low enough. There, there, over. Okay, so that's looking good. This might have not registered the right signal strength because of the other missing dust in the build. So I'm going to ignore that for now, and we should be good with what we have here. Okay, so let's go ahead and configure our chests for the filters. You're going to want to put blockers in every single slot here to start. So that chest is now full. We'll put blockers in this chest as well. Again, these are just random items renamed as blocker. Important to note that this has to be renamed differently from what's in the filter below. So you'll see that I have filters here and I have blockers in the chests above. For now, I'm going to put redstone dust into the first chest, and you must have 2 of each item that you want to filter for in this filter chest. I would also suggest putting your blockers at the bottom right so you can keep track of how many slots have been used here. In this case, it's always the number here, -1. We've got 1 item configured. We'll do the same in the chest beside. So let's put in torches in here. And we're good. So right now we're sorting for, actually, you know what? Let's do a little bit more. We're also going to put redstone blocks in here. And instead of torches, we're going to use comparators and repeaters. So there, I've got redstone dust and blocks, and I have repeaters and comparators in this chest. Okay, I did make an error on this row of barrels here. It's not 8 items you need 16 non-stackable items in here. So I've pulled 2 of the swords. We now have 6 in each of these barrels going up. And it didn't affect the function of the sorter at all. I don't think it just made it not silent because of a change in signal strength. So you want 6 non-stackable items in this top row of barrels, and in the bottom row you still want 10. Each of these will have 10 in them, and we should be good to go. So let me just make sure everything's clear as I was testing off camera. Okay, we're good. So we'll put 1 item in to start, and I'm going to put it right into this filter hopper below the first slice. We know that we're sorting for redstone dust, redstone blocks, repeaters, and comparators. So I'm going to put a non-matching item in, a note block. You'll see that the first slice and second slice have already triggered, and because it's unsorted, it should be in this chest here. There's our note block. If we were to put several of the same type of item in, so we're going to do 16 note blocks here. There, you'll see it's processing each note block as it goes in, and you'll see the system firing. You didn't hear anything going on during that time, but we will now have 16 note blocks in our unsorted chest. So let's configure a chest to put on here that will give us a bunch of matches and a bunch of non-matches, and we're going to see where they all end up. Okay, I've configured this chest to give us some matches, some non-matches, match in a different slice, some unstackables, and some 16 stackable items as well. This sorting system handles all items that you can input into it. The only items I do not suggest you input into it would be filter items themselves or blocker items. You may want to, just in case they end up in the system, have some sort of pre-sorter that removes those as they go into the multi-item sorter. But let's grab this chest, we'll place it over our hopper, and let's see this thing go to work. There, you'll see that it's now started to trigger, and it's inputting our items. You'll actually see the break between item types in here. There it is. And we'll see the next item type coming in. There's our note blocks. So this is a steady stream that you see happening, and you'll see it processing here. We'll get the break, and then we'll get the new item types coming in just now. Now this one is a match in this chest, so you'll see that it's now delayed pulling out from this chest. It reinserts the filter item back into it, and then it starts processing the next item types. So this thing is very effective. It is pretty darn fast for everything that it's doing, considering that you're sorting for up to 54 different item types. You can fill up every slot of this chest if you want to. It'll put them all where they need to go. We are still sorting here. That should probably be the last signs that were in the box there. So let's see where everything ended up. In our A slice, we have our blocks, our dust. In the B slice, we have our repeaters and comparators. Our unsorted is all 3 of these items. So our note blocks, our wooden swords, and our birch signs. And then we have nothing in overflow because these aren't full. They will only go to overflow if they're full, and they'll only be trashed if the overflow is full. What I'll also do actually is let's see what happens if the birch signs were part of one of the categories. So if I placed these birch signs in here now, you'll see there are mismatches here, but they are a match in this slice, and they end up in B. So that's it for the tutorial. You'll see I've turned my shaders on to get a better, fancier glimpse at the final build. And yeah, to summarize, this is an almost hopper speed multi-item sorter that categorizes up to 54 different item types into one chest stack. It is completely silent. There is no slot reservation required in your collection chests. It's fairly easy to build as we've seen, and it's pretty compact at 7 by 7 by 2. It's a great sorting system for a single player world. It helps save on space compared to a giant string of single item sorters, obviously, and it's probably more lag effective than a giant string of single item sorters as well. Probably also good for a small SMP, and I'm sure you've seen it as part of other larger builds like the one wide tileable configuration or in some other larger storage system setups. Thanks again to the team for putting this together, to MetaMilo, DatNerd, Rifter Labs, some help from Iron Shooter and EY on the original 4.1 design, where we got it down to a better, more lag effective state by just going up and down one signal strength per dust anywhere on the system. And special thanks to DatNerd for coming up with the signal stabilization circuit at the back here that allowed us to keep it in the 7x7 form factor of the 4.0 original. MetaMilo and DatNerd came up with the more reliable item gate at the same time, which gives a little bit of a longer delay between item types, and it seemed to help a lot of people who are running into problems with items falling into the wrong categories. So that's it, YouTube. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial, and thanks again, and have a great day.